Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rajat Chen, a professor at the University of San Francisco Center for Business Studies and Innovation in Asia Pacific, and short for CBSI AP. Today, first, we want to thank the Facebook House for hosting this event. This is a very, very special venue for us to do this interview. And we also want to thank you, Raj, for coming to our interview program. And would you please briefly introduce yourself before we start the conversation?
Yeah, thanks, Roger, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. So I'll give a quick introduction about myself. I'm originally born in Toronto, Canada. I grew up around the world in different countries, Abu Dhabi and UK. Parents originally came from India. And I went to Waterloo undergrad, did engineering and economics there. In my last year, Waterloo is where I came up with the idea for the company that eventually became Lyft, and started working with my co-founders there, Logan, John, and other folks. I also got into this program in the US. It's a PhD MBA program at MIT, very unique program. Only 4 people in the world were accepted into it. So I felt, it was a great opportunity. It was a full ride at MIT. I started my program there at MIT, but I realized it was nothing compared to the thrill of startup. So I dropped out, and began working, on my entrepreneurial career. And this was in 2008, the absolute bottom of the stock market, the biggest part of the recession in the fall. Everyone thought I was absolutely crazy, but I was ready to be hopeless. I was ready to do whatever I needed to do to make this, make startups work. And it turned out to be a great time to start a company. And so that's how it started. I started another company called Presto, which became the market leader for AI and automation in the restaurant space, working with big restaurant chains like Applebee's and Chili's, Denny's, Red Lobster, Del Taco, and Jack in the Box, those types of big
And you eventually went for a public,
I went public in 2022. And I left shortly thereafter, and since then I've started 2 new companies. One is called Lima, which is a mission-driven organization I've started with my wife to help skilled immigrants come to the U.S. We help skilled immigrants with every part of their journey to get visas and green cards, because the immigration system in the U.S. is a nightmare, and I know this as an immigrant myself, and having a lot of immigrants working for me. And then I also started another company, which is back to my tech roots. It's called Tribe. It's the next generation group chat platform. It's what I think is going to be next after WhatsApp, after WeChat, after all these legacy platforms, which are over 10 years old at this point. And so we're trying to reinvent group chat and really focusing on building closer communities online on your phone. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I also have a podcast called Founders in Arms, and I do this with the CEO and founder of Mercury, Imad Akut. We talk to different founders every week. We've had some great people on. We had Aaron Levy last week from Box. We had Paul English from Kayak. A lot of great people coming on the podcast, and something I enjoy doing to contribute back to the community.
Thank you very much.
Experience/lessons, managing stress in new ventures.
You have done several companies. I'm sure, you have learned a lot. I also assume you kind of changed over the years, as you mentioned. Could you kind of elaborate your the different approaches as you gain more and more wisdoms to do the new venture companies? What are some of the key learnings? I even call that as like a timeless lessons I can share with the young generation of entrepreneurs. Maybe put in differently, to kind of illustrate the difference. What's the difference between inexperienced you versus the experienced you? What are the differences in approaching doing the start of a company or new ventures?
Yeah, it's a good question. Look, I think the experience me is much better with people. Like dealing with people, hiring teams, putting teams in place, getting stuff done with the team, and I know what to worry about, what not to worry about. And
Can you give us some example about the what to worry about, what not to worry about,
Yeah.
if possible?
Yeah, inexperienced founders, or just anyone inexperienced with anything, like say you're an inexperienced gardener, you go to your garden and you see a weed, right? Like, how much do I worry about this weed? You don't know how much to worry about that weed, right? You don't know how to handle that weed. It's the same with startups. It's like, okay, oh, a person just quit, or oh, this build was delivered had bugs. How much do I worry about that? Like, is this a big problem or a small problem, right? And knowing how to calibrate your reactions to different things that happen in startups is the biggest learning that you get over time. It's like you just know what to do in every situation. You've seen everything before. You've seen the whole movie before. And also that set of skills also helps you when you have a black swan event like the pandemic. You know, like black swan happens, right? It's not, you know, you will have it every so often. And if you have the right set of skills, you have the right mental model built up in your head, you just know how to react to those different things. And here's what I should do. Okay. Oh, we have a black swan event. Okay, so that means my team will be worried, my investors will be worried. I have to do these sets of things to make sure people understand what's going to come going forward. I have to, you know, the financial situation will be this is what I do. Right. Same with starting a company. It's like, okay, you know, I need to build. You have again a playbook in your head. Okay, I need to understand the market. I need to understand, you know, the customer. I need to spend a lot of time with customers. I need to build something and that I like. I need to build something that my friends like. So it's the same set of things, but you just you know you get a lot calmer over time, and you get a lot more surgical and precise about your actions. I find a lot of inexperienced founders are very worried all the time, you know, and I'm rarely worried. You know, like because like I kind of know. I mean, I'm worried, but I'm not that worried. I'm curious. You know, I'm interested, but I'm not. I know what to do. Like it's not something where I'm like I don't know how to handle. Even if the uncertain thing happens, I know what to do. So like you have a lot more poise over time. And I would say just the inexperienced founders, like the way you get that is just do the thing. You know, you do the thing. You know, you'll have a bunch of problems. Try to have good mentors in your life and that you can talk to. I used to always really, you know, like to have dinners and lunches with founders a few years ahead of me who have done it before, and they would always calm me down. You know, they would always like know how to handle situations.
So kind of answer my second question, but I still have the first question. Uh, you know, let me kind of reiterate what I mean. The second question, basically, you advise to inexperienced founders to speed up their learning is to have mentor. So they can talk to, and if they run into some challenging issues, then they got the real situation-based advice, which I think that's your advice to the young entrepreneurs to speed up their learning, right?
Yeah.
So earlier you talked about these days, you kind of worry less about a lot of things, but still as experienced founders, what kind of things you tend to be more sensitive? If you see that happen, you say, I need to pay attention to that. I need to worry about that.
Anything with the customers, you know.
Oh, that is the sensitive.
Yeah, you're just very sensitive to your customers. And like you're very sensitive to what decisions are they making, why are they making these decisions, you know, what's the market changing like? Is there like a new competitor my customers are going to? Are my customers turning away for this for some reason? Like you're super, super sensitive to customers.
So for these are the big worry part.
Yeah. But not you again, you're not that worried because you know what to do.
Yeah.
But you're very sensitive to it. It changes your decision making. But I would say at this phase of my career, I don't spend, I mean, a very little stress. Whereas early on, I was enjoying it a lot, but I also was worried, you know. And so like, I was enjoying, you know, when you're on the steep part of the learning curve of anything, you know, like people taking your classes, and within the steep part, it's uncomfortable, you know. It's like, you feel like, oh, there's so much new stuff. I'm just a little bit lost, right? Being on the steep part of the learning curve is always uncomfortable. But you get past it as a founder, and it takes many, many years though. It's not like if founders expect to get past it in 1 or 2 years, it's going to take 5 to 10.
Because that's part of their life.
Part of their life.
Growth, right?
Yeah.
Personal
Yeah.
growth.
Yeah.
And also, you know, I know actually, including people here and also our audience, there are many of them are immigrant entrepreneurs. So do you have any kind of a special advice to this group of entrepreneurs who, you know, come from different cultural backgrounds, new to this country, you know, to help them to become more successful in their entrepreneurship journey?
Yeah. First of all, you know, to immigrant entrepreneurs, I always say welcome. You know, welcome to the U.S. We want you here. We want you to be successful. And thank you for your coming here. I wish the United States would say that to immigrants. I wish the United States would say welcome and thank you for building your lives here, because this country was built by immigrant entrepreneurs and will continue to be built by immigrant entrepreneurs. And even though there's no red carpet at the airports when you land, but you know, that's something that I'm trying to change. I'm trying to say, I'm trying to help immigrants come here with Lima but I'm also trying to help them be successful in the US. And because like the way I think about it is, an immigrant entrepreneur, especially, not only they're building a business, but could be starting a family here, it could be having kids, and
Yeah.
that legacy passes on, has a huge multiplier effect for the country. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, there's always some disadvantages to being an immigrant. There's always some learning that you have to do that, it's something different from your home country. Well, my wife is an immigrant as well. She's from China, and I'm an immigrant as well. I would say like for the immigrant entrepreneurs, they have a huge advantage though, which is they tend to be a lot more hungry. They have a chip on their shoulder. They have something to prove that they can make it happen.
So that's the advantage.
That's
That's
it.
kind of leverage.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's always been the advantage of immigrants. And that's why like so many companies are founded by immigrants, because they have the desire and the will to get past those 99% of no's that are going to be out there, right? And they
Kind of
don't,
tenacity.
they don't expect an easy journey. They don't expect it to be handed to them. They expect to fight for it. And that's what you have to do. You have to fight for it. It's not going to be handed to you. And if you're willing to fight, then you're going to do well. Because startups will reward the fighters, the resilient people. So they're set up well, but they have a journey ahead to fight.
That's great.
Thank you for watching.